We all know what I'm about to say. The question is, will I be able to say it coherently and without notifications? Someone politely gave me some little tip that I probably should have my videos be not flooded with that stuff. Anyway, time dilation was basically supposed to be proven two different ways. The first was an atomic clock was placed. There was one experiment in the 70s where there was three atomic clocks. One was on the ground, and another clock was on a plane going, I think it was 100 kilometers an hour. And I'm still getting notifications. Um, it One plane was going with the rotation of the Earth, and the other plane was going against the rotation of the Earth. And when they landed, each clock had a discrepancy. Of course, the standard clock that was just standing still didn't change at all. Go figure. But what was interesting to note that the clock that went with the rotation of the Earth had gained less time, and the one that went against the rotation of the Earth had gained more time, ironically by the same amount or similar amounts. Barely noticeable, nanoseconds, but when considering what actually took place in the experiment, it makes full sense. When you're going with the rotation of the Earth, you're basically the same as going backwards on a train. If you're going the same speed as the train, you'll seem to be moving not at all. You'll be walking, but you'll be basically stationary. And if you go forward on the train, you'll be going twice the distance that you would normally be going. Well, if you're going the same speed as the train, you're now going twice the distance that you would have been going if you were just standing and walking that distance on the ground. So, yeah, it makes sense that if you translate this into how the atomic clock works in those planes, one plane had gone twice the distance, or the distance of their speed going around the Earth plus the Earth's rotation rate. The Earth's rotation rate added that factor to the amount of total distance light had to travel inside the atomic clock, meaning each tick was going slower. Only because light had to catch up with the plane. With the other one, it went opposite the rotation of the Earth, and it had the opposite effect, obviously, because light didn't have to go as far to keep up with it. It had its tick go faster, even faster than the stationary clock, because it has even less of a distance to go, which is fascinating. The other example, of course, pertains to satellites. And the thing about satellites is that they are always changing speed. So when you have an atomic clock in again, it's an atomic clock, it's in a satellite. Every time that the satellite will change speed, you are changing the distance that light has to travel to keep up with the satellite. Because, as we all know, Einstein said, light doesn't matter what else is going on, it will move at the same rate. That's what he said. Regardless of reference frame, light is consistent in a vacuum. Or it's consistent in, say, water or whatever substance you're putting light through. Doesn't matter how fast you're going, doesn't matter anything else. Although the speed of a substance would change how light behaves in it versus a stationary of the same substance. We might get to that in a different video. Yeah, you can move light faster than c if the substance it's moving is also moving faster than c, or approaching c, or a fraction of c. Never mind. That's not to say about this. That's a whole other subject. So, the thing about satellites, like I say, they're constantly having a degrading orbit, so they're constantly going slower and slower, and they're boosting back up so they can orbit at a higher altitude away from the surface of the planet. What people don't understand is that when those satellites are moving ever so slightly faster, anything other than a standard station, like regular speed, because stuff on the Earth isn't moving stationary, it's moving at our regular speed, doesn't change because the Earth continues to orbit the sun and also rotate at a regular rate. Once you put it on a satellite and it's changing speeds, light being consistent, it has to take either less time or more time to keep up with that satellite. That's all that's happening. Time dilation is a complete misunderstanding of the situation. And I'm really sorry about that. That's just how it is. Yeah. Where is the button? I need the button. I do not know where the button is. How do I turn this off? I thought I was able to, like, push a... How do I stop? The... Oh, there it is.